we go. There we go. Hey, guess what, Matt?
Hey, what's up?
We're live.
Swag like Caillou.
Mm. Are you online yet?
Nope.
You should definitely be online.
What do you mean, dude? I gotta go into TFT real quick.
Jesus. There we go. Alright, you know what? Welcome one, welcome all to the game of the century. It's going to be the Cuddly Crustaceans versus the very average humans today, live on chat_penguin for your PMA LCS pleasure. Here on Play by Play, we got me, Vitsadistadiesis. It's been a long time, and I'm very excited to be back on Play by Play. Here we got your boy, Mr. Matt. How's it going tonight, Matt?
Hey, what's good, Dave? We chilling. Looking forward to this game.
And we're already the draft's already underway over here. Let me quickly get this thing pulled up real quick.
Oof.
There we go. Yeah, Pro Draft is already going on, and looking on the side of Cuddly Questrations, they've dropped Echo, Lucian, and Lulu bands. You know, I don't really pretty standard stuff, especially with the Echo and the Lucian. Focusing on Delicious Lugo, especially Cuddly Crustaceans, opting for the first pick, Caitlyn in this scenario, a classic for Spooked. And the very average humans opting to answer back with Kai'Sa and Morgana for their bot lane. And how do you feel about Kai'Sa in this current state of affairs, Matt?
So, as a support player, my favorite thing to see if it's not a Jhin is a Kai'Sa because like there's a lot of instances where she'll very much just like try and frontline ADC as the PMALCS meme. But like it fails so hard sometimes. Like you'll see Kai'Sa ult into like a what do you think is a 2v2 and just like it doesn't even matter how low your bot lane is as long as you have some form of CC. And we see it with the Thresh. The Thresh is going to be able to peel for the Caitlyn so well, and Caitlyn trap or Caitlyn net having mobility just allows her to literally just get out of that fight, and it's like I don't have to deal with you, Kai'Sa. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, and the favorite thing that I see here as well is that Kai'Sa is just kind of useless on this patch right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but Kai'Sa's just not a
It's
good pick. And I feel like this Caitlyn Thresh, despite the fact that they do have the Morgana into the Thresh matchup, it's, you know, I just don't see them being able to play like being able to do much of anything in that lane. Then they pick the Fizz for Juice Me Daddy, and the Ahri gonna go ahead and be picked up, I assume, for Lugo in the mid lane into this Fizz matchup, and not really excited to see that earlier. So just looking at this draft so far, I feel like Cuddly Crustaceans have literally gotten almost everything they wanted.
yeah. Aside from the Renekton for Necro guy, which was banned out, but like aside from that, like the phase one like ban and like the phase one of pick ban has gone like 100% in favor of like cuddly crustaceans. Even though Morgana is considered a counter to Thresh in lane, if you know how to play the champion well enough, especially with your empowered play autos, like Morgana Black Shield means absolutely nothing. Like you can absolutely destroy her, and it's just like useless to have a champion. She's just a body at that point. It's just another minion.
Yeah, and I mean it also makes sense, especially with this Caitlyn pick, because this lane shouldn't be going too well for the very average humans, I would assume. And I know there's been a lot of talk around the Cuddly Crustaceans, especially into the season. I feel like a lot of people may have had them, power ranked as one of the weaker teams in the bracket, but right now they're currently sitting in first place, and a lot of that has to do with honestly the outstanding level of teamwork they have displayed. I would say that there are a lot of other teams, in the red bracket that really haven't, particularly flourished as much as they thought they would, as much as we thought they would, and that's kind of part of it. But really, I just think, you know, there's always been a hallmark around alley teams and their team fighting and their overall teamwork in the PMALCS, and so far, I think Cuddly Crustaceans is just actually by far the best team in the PMALCS right now because they're by far the quickest team to reach their final form or something close to it.
Yeah, and we something I actually like right here is the Shin pickup, especially because like we saw the Kane. So as soon as you see Kane ult someone, like Shin can ult like negate some of that damage with shield, and like that's pretty good. As to their teamwork, I played with Spooked on Katarina Wine Mixer in the summer split, and the bot like I've seen his personal growth after playing with him some more, but like not only that. Oh, hang on, Maokai Jungle.
It's the Shen jungle. Legends loves the Shen jungle, bro.
Dude, that's big brain. Yeah, like playing specifically with Spirit, but speaking to that, like there's been a lot of growth there, and like watching him play with Ali, like the synergy is just insane. So for like the bot lane synergy is kind of ridiculous. And I know that Rafal has kind of like been role swapped because Rafal has played like what top and ADC mainly, and now he's in the support role. So it's just a little bit different for him.
You know, I also think a lot of like Luke Station's success has to do with Juice Me down in the mid lane because I think we all knew he was strong, but I really don't think any of us predicted him being as strong as he's been so far in the regular season. And
Yeah,
honestly, it's just been a real pleasure to watch, and it's it's slowly progressing to the point where his fundamentals are solid enough to where you can't really hardcore ban him out anymore. Like, yeah, he mains
Yeah,
cat. If you let the cat through, you're just asking to kind of lose the game. And,
yeah,
all the teams ban the cat, but now he still has the Glacial Morgana in his pocket. He still has a lot of Glacial champs in his pocket, actually. And in addition, one of the picks he's picked up recently has been the Fizz. And that Fizz has really kind of tied his, very small but specialist champion pool together, into a nice, beautiful present with a cute little bow on top, so to
I
speak.
recommend skipping.
yeah. In that metaphorical sense, I do like seeing like Katarina is very much the burst assassin. It's very similar playstyle to Fizz. A lot of these and a lot of the glacial champions like Morgana, some of the other glacial mids, like you can see glacial Ari, you can see glacial Cho'Gath. Really depends, but like regardless, their champions tend to not be um like burst champions. Rather, they tend to be like sustain, lay down the CC, and like draw the fight out. And then at the end, like it'll be a long, drawn out duration fight, but you'll still end up winning it. And having that dichotomy of champions that are like, depending on what the circumstance calls for, do you need the burst damage? Because right now you have a Shin and a Maokai, and a Thresh. Like Caitlyn's your real burst damage, and that's proccing with combos, but that's you can be countered pretty easily with a Bramble Vest. If you just want to try and just pop autos as Caitlyn, just buy a Bramble, or to counter that, just buy a Bramble Vest. But like that burst damage that will, or like the AP burst damage that you can present with the Fizz is disgusting. And I think that like specifically in this team comp, it very much will rounds it out, and it kind of rounds like him out as a player very well.
Yeah, I very much agree. And, the Crustaceans draft really doesn't have a unified win condition, but it's just all around a comp with a lot of comfort picks they love
Never
playing.
pick a fight you
Legends
can't
gets his
win.
map presence through the Shen, Juice Me Daddy gets his map presence through the Fizz as well. And that mid jungle duo is something that you don't want on their comfort picks if you can avoid it, because they've been an absolute menace this entire split long, opening up the map. And it's very much finally getting to the case where you finally have to start specifically targeting champions and learning stuff for their matchups, because there's not much of a way that you can just pick stuff into them and hope to outskill them anymore. Like, I'll be honest, I feel like this mid jungle duo is kind of reached the level of quality where it's like you can't disrespect them in draft at all, and you have to try and pick a better matchup against them, or you have to figure out a different area of the map to play through, or it's not going to work out.
Yeah, and to the I guess to the other side of that, when you're playing with Lugo and Maie, like two very strong like independent players, their synergy seems to still be like developing. And I think that if they can get their synergy down a little bit more, that would also be like another threat compared, because like both Legends and Mai are both like kind of extremely knowledgeable and like talented junglers, specifically in their bracket. And not only that, but like Lugo is one of the most, like plays burst assassins, plays the Vagar, plays everything that'll be up in your face, and he plays very aggressively. So like it's a very similar play style to what we see from Juice Me Daddy when he's on his assassins, like the Katarina. Now we're gonna see the Fizz, but like I like in this circumstance, I think that both of these like mid jungle duos are probably gonna show like incredible prowess through like we're entering the second half of the season now. So like when we start to get into the later portion and into the playoffs, like we'll start to see like both like the true fruition come from the mid jungle duo of VAH.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of the red bracket, let's take a look at the standings in the red bracket at the moment. Because I know Cuddly Crustaceans are definitively on top, but right now, Fimu Alcoholics Anonymous still chilling in second place, and recently got 2-0'd last week by Washed Up Space Police. And I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
what a
considering I
team.
play for Washed Up Space Police, I feel like it's reasonable to say it was fairly convincing. They also didn't have StarCraft, to be fair, but I feel like this bracket's getting shaken up more and more as we start heading into the final weeks, because there's some teams that are kind of on the come up, and Bachelor Party recovering especially from their 0-win start to the split, and you know bringing up the rear, but still finally looking like they're a threat to be reckoned with going into the final half of the season. I feel like looking at most of these teams, it's kind of anyone's ball game from here on out. But the tricky thing is going to be seeing if anyone can actually measure up to the Cuddly Crustaceans at this point, because they're looking like the most complete team in the bracket.
Yeah. And I think the well-rounded nature of it, and I kind of pulled up stats to just kind of speak a little bit to it. And KDAs and everything, but KDA of this team in particular is rather disgusting. Necro guy has an average of like 6.5. Legends is a 6.5. Choose Me Daddy has a 7 KDA. Spooked has an 8.35, and Violet Sociocat sitting around 5.3 herself. Like that's just when it's that consistent across, it's just disgusting. Like how well you're playing. So it's actually pretty nutty.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. And looking back to this game here, Cuddly Crustaceans versus the Very Average Humans, I'm honestly excited to see if the Very Average Humans can actually pull anything out to sort of, do anything to the Crustaceans in this matchup, because I'm looking at this draft now and it's not looking like the most convincing thing in the world for me, but I am interested to see how they perform, just because the Ari, the Fiora, and Maie and the Kane, they have a lot of individual pop-off champions here, and they have a lot of champions with very high skill ceilings. So, on paper, I really don't think this comp should work that well. They have no front line. There's a lot of things they're missing, but if they create the Clown Fiesta that they're looking for, because let's be honest, any team with Maie and it loves Clown Fiestas, if they can manage to create the Clown Fiesta, then it's anyone's ball game at that point. And you know, with all the players on that team that focus on individual solidity, so to speak, I feel like if they can make it their ball game, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and really that's kind of like I think that's like the biggest thing of it all is like in this particular game specifically, I want to talk about like top lane, especially because like Necro guy didn't get Renekton, and a lot of people are like, oh, if Necro guy doesn't get Renekton, like it's a free win. It's like not really. Like he is such a like his tank pool is really good, but specifically into the Fiora matchup, like I think Fiora right now is like ridiculously strong in the top lane. It's not Soraka strong, but like it's pretty
It's
it's
pretty
pretty
good.
good. Yeah. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking? What do you think it's gonna be? What do you think the game winner is gonna
I'm
be?
honestly convinced it's going to be a 2 for Cuddly Crustaceans at this point.
You wanna do the classic pause at 10?
Yeah, we'll do the classic pause at 10.
Hello.
So I find it really interesting how the PMA LCS meta contrasts to the meta that goes on right now at the professional
True.
level, because we're kind of still playing with the Caitlyn, the Kaisa, and everything like that, and the Caitlyn pick's showing up all over the place right now, which has been a pick that's been hyped, but not really shown to do that much. Right now, the caster AD carries are kind of turning up big with the Misfortune, the Aphelios, the Senna, everything else going on right now.
Yeah. Also, I'm ready whenever.
Alright, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, to that point, I really think the strength of like kind of like to that. I don't know. I'm always blown to see like the differences in from I guess from what we play to what is considered professional level. Like you're seeing the Soraka top, we haven't seen that yet. We do see the level one like prep for invade though, but they're completely opposite
30
sides. They just don't
seconds to
recognize it.
minions spawn.
The standard Cuddly Crustaceans choosing to invade the red side while choosing to invade the red buff while starting on blue side. This is kind of one of the Legends hallmarks. And Legends a really smart player, has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and I can assume this is something they planned. This is usually the go-to because most of the time teams will either do exactly what VAH's doing, which is clumping his 5 in this brush, or they
Hmm.
will completely, fan out and 5-point, and you can walk into the top side, and a lot of times you can catch people really off guard just because they don't expect you to be there of all places, because the traditional invade route's typically through bot side for both teams, but the top side invade definitely does show up a lot, and nothing gonna come of that one though, because both teams chose opposite sides to protect or invade, and now gonna be seeing a cross map start for both these junglers right now.
Yeah, and I think this early game what we're really going to be looking for is a difference in jungle pressure because Shin early game jungle or like I guess like early game like presence to support a lane is really weak.
Yeah,
Um,
versus Kane, it's really no competition. It's just who can do stuff. Like once Shen hits level 3, he just runs into your lane and taunts you, and you probably die.
yeah,
It's the thing that can get rough is the Shen clear, but that's kind of one of the things that sucks about Shen too, is you can also take the W level 2, and that can allow you to clear a lot of different things. But
yeah.
Legends opting for, I believe, let's take a look at this. Going the Shadow Dash and the Twilight Assault, going buff to buff on this one. So especially looking for some of those early ganks here, and he's going to do the buff Gromp clear route, which is one of his favorite things to do right now. Buff Gromp, an extremely solid route, because it's really the only route in the game that gets you level 3 off of 3 camps right now. And with this push that's going on top lane, this could allow him to affect this lane somewhat. And once Necker Guy hits 2, they have a lot of setup in this top lane, so depending on how these waves interact, this is going to be something to move for immediately. And anytime you get to gank before the Scuttle Crab comes up right now in this meta, I feel like it's really good news. And Legends, though, he's looking for Lugo in this mid lane.
Yeah.
Lugo going to be caught out here. This is a great early gank to look for with the Fizz. Flash comes out, taunts answered. Juice Me Daddy goes up on the pole. The autos are coming out. The Ignite comes out. The stab comes out. That's the first blood for Juice Me Daddy in the mid lane. Legends already making his presence known on the map with this Shen.
Yeah, that's definitely what you like to see out of your mid lane, or like your like the presence that you can provide as Shen. The Kane looking around, like kind of hovered mid, a little bit late to respond. Like obviously they didn't have vision of the top side, but they came up for full top clear and then just went ahead and cleared wolves and is now just catching the wave mid. Like, I mean obviously that still leaves blue and Gromp up, but like I think with the new jungle changes it makes it a little like. I mean, you can speak more to it than I can. Like, I know that the jungle pathing has been a lot different, especially because they changed the value of gold and experience on the mini Krugs. So it makes it a little more valuable than what it used to be.
Yeah, and it also means you have to clear all the Krugs right now, but it's still kind of the same stagnant pathing. You either go full clear or you go buff Gromp. And a lot of junglers that can be good in this meta. I think that's kind of the reason why the Shen's interesting, but Legends, though, getting caught out here for the Scuttle. Gonna drop the Smite. Violet's here with the hook. Gonna land onto Maye, and this is looking bad already. Heal comes in, but it's not gonna be enough. Legend's gonna find the kill on Maye. Flashing out now. They're all onto Lugo. Lugo no sums. The troll pole comes out. Play comes out. Goes completely the wrong way, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna send Lugo back to base anyway. Quick 3 for 0 for the Cuddly Crustaceans.
That hook was so close. That was disgusting. Yeah, we still see top lane being just a slap fest. Like an ACS differential in favor of the Fiora, like is pretty sizable, but at the same token, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
it'll be
Verlash
what
is
it'll
looking
be.
very unhealthy right now, so I don't know if he took a terrible trade into a wave or what he did, because that typically doesn't happen in that matchup.
Yeah,
Oh
like they were
god.
forced
Oh
by
god. Oh no, that Q has me terrified, bro. Oh no.
Jesus, dude, come on.
But
It's gotta be some chill. No chill.
so this is kind of a trip. This is kind of a trip to the war room. A trip. It's and I don't know what words I'm looking for here. It's kind of a trip back to the Summoner's Book, the basics of gameplay. Cuddly Crustaceans making the rotations happen, getting lane priority with that Caitlyn Thresh in bot lane that we talked about, the range advantage earlier. That comes in mid lane because Lugo managed to get the roam all out on Juice Me Daddy with that back timer, but it doesn't matter because Spooked and Violet are there on the collapse, and because of that bot lane priority, there's nothing that OP and Rafal can do. And so I know it sucks to give up that Scuttle Crab, especially when you're playing a jungler with as trashy of an early game as Kane. Sometimes you just kind of have to accept the fact that you either go for a Scuttle Crab or you just take it up the ass.
And that's just a fact of life. I mean, we're starting to see some minor, differential start to come out in CS. But really, like the itemization, especially now that you see this, like Shin has Tiamat, his clear speed is going to be a lot better. And like Kane hasn't finished anything, and we do see Lugo kind of struggling, only getting the mana crystal and the amp tome. That's just like, you're like, dude, you really hate to see that as a first back. And then the Fizz opting for the Dark Seal and double amp tome. I really like to see that, and a lot of people would kind of take this the wrong way, like, oh man, like going for the early Dark Seal. It's like, I mean, you get the potion heals, and like if you're confident
Dark
enough,
Seal is
like,
pretty much the standard on Fizz, you know?
yeah. And it's just like that, but like some people view it as BM. It's like, oh, they're doing it for this purpose. That's a free kill.
Here, Fall gonna get hit. Oh, Maya's here to
Oh,
answer
that's, you hate to
find
see
the
that.
kill on the Violet Sociocat. Now Maya is straight on the spooked right here. Conquers proc going in, gonna pop that Umbral Trespass. Shark comes out, flash forward from Maya, but he's out of mana and Spook barely gonna get away.
Ooh.
We're gonna land that kill with the Peacemaker. Another great roam coming in from Juice Me Daddy, but he's gonna be forced to give it away for that one.
Yeah, that was really well played by the Caitlyn there, like being so low HP and having to like epitomize mana. Oh, flash coming out. Ooh.
Flash coming out. Here comes the Stand United from Legends, though. The turn's coming out. The Troll Paul is underway. Lugo, no ult, no defenses, no nothing, and no health bar. Violet Sociocat gonna finish the kill with that hook. 6-1 right now for the Cuddly Crustaceans.
That low-key looked a little spaghetti. I was like, that's either like the final pixel of hook. I was like, I don't know about that one. But like, it was pretty close. And we do see, oh, front lash.
Flash
Aggressive
under the
flash.
turret. That's
Nice.
just gonna get bonked under a turret by the Maokai. I don't know about that one, Chief. Oh man, yeah. The one saving grace on their map right now, finally, he's up like 10 CS. He was up about 250 gold before that, but then just decides to throw it all away with that turret dive.
Big brain. No, but like, I kind of want to look to bot side now. Like, we do, like, I mean, obviously Kaisa goes and gets BF. We do see the Greaves BF completed for the Caitlyn. That's super strong, and that makes him like a big difference. But Morgana playing smart, opting for double cloth armor, and that's actually gonna make a huge difference when like trading into the Caitlyn, especially to negate. It's not a ton of damage, but it's like whatever percentage you can get off the base damage that Caitlyn does, because she has like incredibly strong base damage. Like, it's just going to be disgusting, and that's just what you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but this looks kind of like a Ninja Tabby game for her, and that seems strange, but when you're taking it up the butthole this much,
You gotta run that out. Yeah, like, obviously, like, your goal as a support is to get out, specifically as a Morgana, your goal is to, like, get out and put pressure in other lanes, because you have the skill shot.
And Black Shield comes in to stop the hook. Maye took a visit into the bot side. Violet Sociocat throw down the bots right here. Smite comes out from Maye. Flash word from Rafal. The turn's coming out, though. Dropped extremely low. Opie going to find the kill on the Violet Sociocat, but that kill's going to be traded onto Rafal. 1-for-1 overall. Yeah,
the Ignite was very well timed from the Thresh. Like, just waiting to literally the very last minute to kind of get that out. Maokai first item, Bramble Vest.
That's what you like to see.
You love to see it.
And,
we do see the.
Oh, finally! Thank God. I was getting ready to get to the point where I start flaming all the laners for not setting up their waves correctly before they start roaming. Like straight up, like after some of the gameplay that I've seen over the past like 3 to 4 weeks, like sometimes I just feel like going full out just LS style on the PMA LCS sometimes. I'm just like, what the heck are you doing? But
listen, sometimes you gotta listen. It's just like constructive criticism.
It is very constructive criticism, but then sometimes you say stuff a little too strongly, you word it a little too strongly, and then it feels like destructive criticism,
Yeah, that's true.
And so...
Oh, what a hook!
Hook comes in from Violet Sociocat, net backwards into the Peacemaker. Ace in the hole comes out, gonna be blocked by Opie, though.
That's just disgusting. That's just Thresh. What a champion. I love that champion. Like, the design, and like, oh, actually, Opie almost walks into that hook. Gosh.
That's scary. That's pretty special, bro.
Bot side, what do we got going on? Maya looking like he's trying to do something. Maya hasn't. The problem with Kane now is he hasn't like transformed. He hasn't got like any pressure. He's 0-2. Like you gotta be like hoping and praying to get out of this game. If you're Maya, you're like, dude, I need to get it. And I really think you go, oh,
Yeah, 2v2 coming in down here, but it's actually going to be a 3v2 because once again, Violet is here on the roam. Shark comes out onto Lugo. Umbral Trespass comes out from Maye. Blade's Reach comes in. This is Lugo going to find the kill on Legends. The turnaround's coming in. Violet Sociocat going to find the kill on Maye, but it's a double kill for Lugo as Legends and Juice Me Daddy going to fall. Spoof goes on a killing spree and brings down Rafal in the bot lane, but it's a triple kill for this as Lugo, and Violet Sociocat going to get dropped. Necro Guy also going to get hit up by this charm. Likely going to be mostly okay, but he's losing such a huge wave topside. Look at all this. Look at this huge wave topside he's losing.
that's like 2 plates, unless he has teleport. No, his teleport's still like halfway. That's at least 2 plates, but like it's probably gonna be more.
And, you know,
We'll see for this.
it's not even Caster's Curse at this point, because I was about to say something about it, but I was thinking about it, so it's still Caster's Curse. I was like, knowing the teamwork that Cuddly Crustaceans typically brings to the table, I was thinking that, you know, this game would largely be over. Even there, if they set it up properly, they got the priority, they got everything they needed, but, you know, Maya and Lugo coming out big with those individual skirmishing champions, able to turn around a rough situation there, and that literally just brought the very average human straight back into the game, because looking at topside now, Front Lash is up about 600 gold on Necro Guy. They're getting about 2 platings and
Yeah, and
shoving
the astronomical CS difference, like that's 30 farm. Like damn, you hate to see that.
yeah, I mean, it's still a very uphill battle for the very average humans, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Legend's going to get CC'd up, and the Shark going wide from Juice Me Daddy. Maye coming in with the evolution into Ross. Blaze Reeds going to knock up Legends, but the Lantern is here. Maye, he's sniffing him out. He's going in. He wants blood. Ignite comes out. Maye going to flash over the wall. No ace in the hole to follow that one. Up at this juncture, Lugo sitting in this bush. Legend's going to get hit by some more poke, and the charm goes wide. And now Juice Me Daddy's returning to the mid lane. Maya is currently waiting on this brush over here. Going to start doing the dragon dance, if you will.
Yeah. I don't think they know that. Yeah, like you obviously have to keep pushing like top side. Like you know that their whole team, excluding the Maokai, is be like the order starting to get to the point where 1v1 is entirely feasible. Like I mean, obviously that trade's not favorable, especially because you're under tower. But like now you're starting to see like that the Fiora does damage.
Yeah, and Fiora currently sitting on just the Tiamat Phage, so it's not going to go well for her in these trades at all, because Maokai has the Bramble Tabby and a Chain Vest right now, so this is really one of the best points in time. Oh, man.
You
Flash
hate to
comes
see
out.
that.
Not
Yeah,
doing
almost
nearly
gets it, but it's for
enough
Kia,
damage.
yeah.
Spook's getting hyphy on this one, man. And here's Maye down here to punish that over-aggression. Stopwatch comes out from Spoof. Blade's Reach going to knock him up. Sand United comes out, but it's not going to matter as the shutdown comes out. And Violet Sociocat going to get locked up by the Soul Shackles, and Opie's now on a killing spree.
They show 4 bot, and you know exactly what they're going for at this point. And you just burned, if I'm not mistaken, Shin just burned Smite, getting the red buff. So I think they just recognize the fact they have to trade this, but they might be able to get. Oh.
Uh-oh, Sneaky Shark coming out over here, but it's not going to matter because Lugo has dashes, like, you know, 3 of them. Ignite comes out on Juice Me Daddy as well. Dragon's going to get slain, and it's going to go over to the very average humans.
Yeah, and they got the Inferno, which especially for their team comp is really beneficial if you're looking to fight in skirmish 1v1 or just fight in general. Like that's just their thing. It's like you just gotta look to fight, you just gotta look to battle it out. So opting for that, and then we see that it's
Cloud. Okay,
yeah, it's a Cloud Drake. So that'll be huge for. I think that'd be more beneficial for the side. Like either way, the ultimate like
for both teams, but
yeah.
I really like it for. I really especially like it for the side of the very average humans with the Kaisa having that ult as one of her main reposition tools. Lugo as well having that ult There's just so
to
much
reposition
utility
as
with the
well.
amount of movement that you can take advantage of with that Spirit Rush. And if they're able to lock down at least 2 Cloud Drakes, that's going to be big. You imagine a Cloud Soul, like, you're not catching Lugo or Opie at that point unless they just jump into something. And
Yeah.
the Emerald Trespass being, you know, on a big cooldown, on a super low cooldown as well, is super big for the Ross, just because of the amount of health you get back from it.
Yeah,
And
it's just disgusting.
yeah, even in
I
the
think
side lane.
Yeah, just like you can split, and it's just like literally you just send Kane side lane. Kane can just 1v1 because that's what Kane does.
The Blade Reeds comes out. Maya gonna disengage from that one though as the hook goes wide. Lugo,
Oh, the Ari's looking to dive.
yeah, Lugo's looking for this dive, and I don't know if he can set this one up. Charm goes wide though, and that's gonna be the cue to call that one off. Kind of surprised that Juicy Daddy chose to walk down here. In this situation, if you're the Fizz and you see him bot side, you ping him out, and then you go and shove your wave because you don't have the roam advantage at this point. And especially with no channel, you can't really afford to fight that. And Lugo's back down here for some more action. Violet Sociocat going to get CC'd up and taken down. Opie's now on a rampage. Charm going to go wide, but now Spook is caught literally between a rock and a hard place. Lightning goes wide. Spook autoing to his heart's content, but it's not going to matter because the Emerald Trespass comes out, and that is going to be the kill on the Spook. However, that Rift Herald push in the mid lane is big. Legends and Juice Me Daddy blowing up 2 turrets straight. I think likely going to get a 3rd hit as well onto the mid lane turret. That is not worth the trade.
No, not at all. And especially because like they didn't even like that still leaves really good like the bot wave shoving in for like for bot still allows like CC to kind of return push, especially with Drake coming up in like 2 minutes. Their goal is going to be get that bot lane priority, and they already have the mid lane priority because it's at the inhib. So it's like you don't even have to worry about that. You just like send people bot and just try and follow and keep that bot side priority to look for the Drake and just deny that off of the side of we do.
Red turret as well going to be taken down, and Titan Crustacean is currently sitting on 4 turrets, and that's pretty much making up the vast majority of their lead at this point after some of the fights that are going on. Grand Challenge going to be popped in the top lane. Front Lash looking under this turret, going to try and take down this beefy tree. Not going to be healing at all. Thinks that Ramble Cascade United comes out for the save on the Necro guy, and you know he's got to be mad about that one. Lugo with the flash forward, but the Orb said not going to find its mark.
Oh wait, yeah, he's dead. Yeah, the Kane dive.
Yo, Maye though, here for some action. Blaze Reach comes out. Aftershock from Necro guy, going to save his life for now. Blue Spike comes out, but Legend's going to be forced to flash away. This is Lugo here with the follow-up, and there comes the Reaping Slash to finish the job. A double kill from Maye. And if there's one thing that's always been consistent about his play, Maye's always there for the man up on those dives to make stuff happen when the turret pressure is there. And Cuddly Crustacean's really not doing that good of a job of respecting it right now. Violet Sociocat going to go golden mode at that stopwatch, but the Blades Reeds is going to finish the job, and Maye is now unstoppable on the Ross.
Yeah, we saw Spook get the tower, but like inevitably this whole trade sequence was not worth it for the side of Cuddly Crustaceans. And we do see, like we were talking about, we kind of see like it's possible for anything to happen for anyone. Really good parry there. Ooh, really good playful trickster. Good flash out as well.
Yeah, flash coming up from Juice Me Daddy going to allow him to finally escape here close to death on that one. And Spooked as well, going to get out of there with the 90 caliber net. And next Drake, the Cloud Drake, set to come up in around 22 seconds. And you know, neither team has really set this one up, and so you know, I think some of that Clown Fiesta gameplay is finally coming through, and especially Cuddly Crustaceans having trouble, you know, making the smart plays, keeping the tempo up the way they want it to be right now. And if I says going to walk into River and get absolutely destroyed, we're following Lugo here on the walk down. Orb of Deception going to finish the job. Lugo goes on a rampage, and that's sure to be a nearly free dragon for the side of the very average humans.
You hate to see that. Like, scoreboard is not particularly telling, but like part of the problem is there's a lot of very low vision scores across the entire board. That's like kind of inhibiting the progress of like either team. And we do see the sweeper come out on the top side jungle. That's kind of like, that's good to kind of get that ahead and try and see if you can maybe pressure for the alternate objective instead of Drake, who's like, look for the Baron.
And
But
this is
like,
pretty good because they have a flank, but the trouble is Spook's still showing bot lane, and this is not really what you want in that situation. 'Cause they're popping up this mid lane turret for free, and in this meta, you absolutely cannot cop up mid lane turret. That kind of opens up the entire map, and I'll be honest, I feel like just now, like in Season 10 and at the end of Season 9, people are realizing in general just how important that mid lane turret is. I feel like it's always been that way, but with how this game works now, there's so much mid-jungle pressure in general that the mid lane turret has become even more important than it was before, and it's a top priority to protect, and you got to make sure your rotations are on the mark so that you don't give that up. And with that mid turret opened up, that's finally going to give the very average humans a lot of room to start putting their game plan into action. Chaos is the name of the game, and it always has been, and you know, Chaos has definitely very much gotten them back into the game so far, as we're currently sitting at, you know, a very tenuous 1,000 gold lead for the side of the Cuddly Crustaceans at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Violet Sociocat's gonna get caught out again.
GOP coming out from Lugo. Blade's Reach gonna knock Violet Sociocat. Upstand United coming in over the wall. Lugo gonna disengage from that one. The Shen has found the save that he wants, but that's a really big Shen ultimate pot for the side of the very average humans, and especially look at the cooldown differential right now, especially with that Cloud Drake. Legends, like, let's see what cooldown that is. It's 134.46 seconds right now compared to Lugo's 61.42 seconds cooldown. So that's a huge opportunity. They have an entire minute to look for a play like that again. There's no Shen ult to save them. If they find someone like Spooked, you know, someone like Violet Sociocat, there's no one on the side of the Cuddly Crustaceans that can really save them. And that's kind of the big thing with the Good Stuff's team comp. It relies, like, with a Good Stuff style like this, is each one of their champions kind of does different things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that just means you kind of have to put all the pieces together because you're a master of none. You know, the common phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. But if you don't have all the pieces, if you don't have the entire clockwork ticking, then all of a sudden your clock breaks. You know, if one of those little cogs shuts down, you're done.
Yeah, and particularly, I think at this point, something to make note of is how massive this Kai'Sa actually is. Like 4-0 and 4, you're completed. You're just like, you're already one item deep with your Stormrazor and your Greaves, and you're looking to build more attack speed. Compared to the Caitlyn, you already have your IE, but you had to go for Executioner's Calling to negate the healing of the Kayn and the Fiora. So the advantage there is like you're forcing the Caitlyn into like building a really unwanted item. So like that's really difficult to kind of like combat. And we see
Legends going into the taunt on Maya here. Lancer coming out. Looks like this fight's gonna be disengaged for now. Trying to keep Blade's Reach over the wall. That's what I like to see. But so yeah, back to that bot lane. The good news is Spook is currently up around 1,200 gold, and I believe that is the biggest. Yeah, that's the biggest lead in the game right now, and a lot of that has to do with that massive CS differential right now. And there's 3 kills as well. I think part of the issue too is Kai'Sa really doesn't have that good of a build anymore. Manamune Kai'Sa's been nerfed, Stormrazor as an item's been nerfed, and Infinity Edge Kai'Sa is nothing if not gold inefficient, so like Kai'Sa's kind of hurting for an item at this point, and that's also part of the reason. Like, she became, you know, a real AD carry on 1 to 2 items at a lot of points, but ooh, Shark comes out from the push, and that's big. Spirit Rush comes out. Gonna be able to dodge the Troll Pull, but the Proto Belt gonna deal some damage. Spooky Ghost comes out, looks like Lugo's out of that one. Fighting occurring over this dragon right now. We got about 29 seconds until the dragon spawn. Kong comes out from Legends. That's actually not going to find its mark. Spirit's Refuge absorbing so many autos. Flash comes out. Front Lash looks for the kill. This is big. Fall finding one already. Opie going unstoppable. Flash word from Lugo and Maye. Flash backwards from Spooked as well. A 2 for 0 on the side of the very average humans. And that should be a nice free Cloud Drake number 2 to the side of the very average humans.
Yeah, I mean, you see the Scryer's Bloom prop, you see them pull it out. So like maybe if you're spooked, you throw like a Godsend and Prayer Q, and you just hope and pray that you can hit it.
Wait, oh god, no! Why did Legends finish? Why did Legends finish the Thornmail? Just hold the Bramble Vest. That item's useless. Oh no. So,
Wait,
pro tip for a lot of people, you kind of just want to sit on the Bramble Vest until you actually have around 6 items. Because Thornmail is kind of underwhelming in terms of the stats that it gives you. Especially for its price point, which I believe is like 2,900. And General Dill saying in chat, not finishing Titanic kind of bleeps Shen hard. Yeah, yeah, it kind of does. Which, I mean, this is Shen jungle, so it's not really... I don't know if the focus is on blowing people up necessarily here, or having split push action, but better things to do with your gold than finishing Thornmail, I'll be real. One of those, which, as mentioned, is finishing the Titanic. But at this point in time, I'd probably... I mean, it could work. They have the Maokai, too. Honestly, maybe I would have finished the Titanic.
yeah. It looks like VAH's gonna run a 4-1. Well, you see the counter 1-3 run from the
Rush
side.
coming out from this is Lugo. The Charm's gonna go wide though. Standing Knight comes out, third one goes in, the hook comes out. Woo! All the way to the center, because Lugo is going all the way back to base. Legends looking for my inside. Tom's gonna land. Juicy Daddy comes in with the shark from the flank. Rapo gonna get chomped up, but the kill gonna go over to Shen because the doctor's in, and it's not because he's streaming.
Uh-oh. Yeah, chat saying that's what happens when you miss Charm. You got like one miss skill shot.
You burn your third Spirit Rush to run in instead of just disengaging after missing the Charm. But
yikes.
yeah.
That's neither here nor there, right?
Yeah, this is going to be an inhibitor for sure for the side of Cuddly Crustaceans. And at this point, this is the chance. You just back off, you throw some wards in their topside jungle, then you reset and you set up the Baron buff. Easy peasy. You look for the 4-1, especially with the Shen in the side lane, which, if you had finished the Titanic, that would be a great 4-1 to start executing. And if the Maokai had teleport, you could set something up, because at some point in time you need someone to answer the Fiora. In this situation, I think it's honestly probably going to be Necker Guy running bot, but then again, honestly what's probably going to happen is we're just going to have 5 people sitting at the Baron for an extended period of time, and I can't escape it. My brain's telling me we're going to NA Ram.
Welcome to North America Games, where all you do is run it down. Now, I think both teams are aware of what they're like, the difference in win condition, especially now that like Drake's coming up in a minute 50, and that'll be Soul, so that CC is gonna have to contest it, so they're not gonna make anything like any sort of irrational plays. So.
Yeah, front lash on Cleaver Hydra right now with a massive CS differential in this top lane, currently sitting an over 1k gold lead on Neko Guy, sitting on the teleport advantage as well. This is the man you're looking for when you're going to try and set these things up right now, because you want to draw Neko Guy away from these team fights. And front lash just existing in the side lane is going to be big. The thing that worries me is, front lash is currently in the zone of pressure right now, and there's really nothing on the side of... There's no one else in the zone of pressure on the side of the very average humans. And so, one thing that we don't talk about is, the zones of pressure. And so the way it works is there are 2 teams, and this is Summoner's Rift. The middle of the lane and the river is contested. The side closer to you is, the zone closer to you is the zone of being pressured, and the zone away from you is the zone of pressure. If you have multiple people in a pressure zone at the same time, that's kind of what you want, because that means you're exerting pressure evenly on the map, and then the enemy has to react to you. So that means you have the tempo. But in this case, if someone is... The downside to being in a pressure zone is that, you can get picked off.
Yeah, kind of like we're seeing with the Kane. Yeah, here's the Kane. Just like, obviously trying to get vision, but like, you know that he's there, so like, and the way that you're positioned, you could just like triangle collapse on him, and like he wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah, exactly. And Juice Me Daddy done a cute little sneak play over here. and he is currently sitting in a position because the Cuddly Crustaceans are very aware that Maya is here, and there's no CC on this Fiora if Legends feels like teleporting somewhere. Front Lash gonna try and run him down. They found Necro Guy in the mid lane though. Dangerous spot to be in. Ace in the Hole comes out. Rafal gonna get taken down by Spooked. Here comes Juicy Daddy on the flank with that Shark. Gonna chomp up Opie. Flash comes out from Opie, but he's gonna burn from the Fizz. The shutdown comes out onto Opie, and the shutdown onto Maya comes out on the other side of the fight for Spooked as well. Legends gonna make it out as well.
Yeah, huge 3 for nothing there for the side of CC. Like, this is really what you needed. Like, and now you see that they're gonna kind of flip what you were talking about. Now they're gonna be the ones exerting pressure on the bot side of this map. They got the dragon. Like, you're just gonna have the Caitlyn just kind of mindlessly push in, just shove in, try and take that tower and open up the map fully, at least on the bot side. But really what you, like, I really like what they're doing here with the Shen. Shen opening up top side, but looking like he might be caught out by the Fiora. Oh, that damage.
Seagull's Refuge comes out under the tower, and that's some big damage on the front lash. Again, definitely one of those very un-tower diving champions, because he has a way to cancel your autos for free. And then he also has that taunt. Getting trapped under that turret and attacking, so it's guaranteed turret aggro. Front Lash gonna get ignited by Juicy Daddy. Taunt comes in over the wall. Playful Trickster comes out. Front Lash sustaining through so much, but that Thorn Mail comes in from Legends, and that's gonna be the kill.
Yeah, not having the Fiora like create the sizing pressure like we were talking about earlier is really important to open up this Baron for the side of CC. So now they can have the Maokai there, and the Maokai has ultimate backup. So like this is actually going to be huge if a team fight looks to break out. Obviously, they both see that there's vision there, and they are now aware that like they're kind of clearing and sweeping out. At this point, I think if you're CC, you want to get the top lane priority. Your mid lane is about 50-50. The Maokai's getting a little aggressive here.
Yeah, Necro Guy didn't get it bound up, and that's a big amount of damage, but, you know, it'll just heal it up with this passive. It's no big deal. But, yeah, so this late game kind of falling apart here so far for the side of very average humans, because, so the thing that I'm talking about with the triple zones is you have to, you know, kind of you have to run through your checklist. You kind of have to clear the zone of being pressured, then you clear the contested zone, then you clear the clear the zone of pressure. All that's done with vision or warm bodies. And so in this case, if Maya's chilling at Dragon Pit and no one else on his team is, you know, in his own jungle, then he's gonna get caught out. And speaking of caught out, Lugo gonna get away with that Spirit Rush, and the mobility from the very average humans is actually really big to kind of putting a stop to the Cuddly Crustaceans' antics, because now they have a lot of ways to get out of the setups. Maya, the Blades Reach on the front line here. Front Lash comes in with a huge flank, getting melted so far. Flash forward from Rafal, goes golden mode, lands a fatty Soul Shackles, but Legends is on a killing spree at the moment. Juicy Daddy gonna get taken down in the back line by Opie. 2 for 1 so far. Necro Guy with the flash forward on Lugo, gonna find the takedown, and Spooked is still currently chilling on the back line, full health. Front Lash gonna repulse that Peacemaker, but the hook is big and it comes in on Opie. Oh man, Killer Instinct comes out by Otsochi Cat, barely going to survive, but that's going to be an inhibitor for the side of Cuddly Crustaceans, and this should give them the Q to reset and set up for that Baron buff.
Yeah, I think you either set up for the Baron buff because Dragon's up in a minute 30. You could probably get both, honestly. Like, you don't want to. I don't think you trade objective for objective here because you don't want to give up Cloud Soul because it's huge. And like, I think if you reset now, you can have the ability to get both with how fast you do damage. Like the Shen with that, you have the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn's going to output a lot of damage with IE and Storm Razor, and now RFC done. And we see the GA come out as well, which is a really safe buy, particularly for like them being able to get on the back line, especially Maya as the Kane. The Kane being able to get to the back line is huge, and it's like really unfortunate if that happens.
And so speaking of dragons, there's a cute thing that a lot of professional teams are trying right now. So if you find yourself up on dragons at any point in time and you have the game control as well, sometimes they will actually refuse to take dragons so they don't get the dragon soul. Because as we know, Elder Drake is potentially game-breaking pretty much at this moment. Whoever gets Elder Drake is basically almost guaranteed to win every fight and obliterate you for the next 3 minutes straight. So losing an Elder Drake is pretty much a game ender. So one of the things that a lot of teams are doing to mitigate the risks right now is they go up to 3 dragons, and then they sit on those 3 dragons, keep the dragons warded, make sure the enemy team doesn't take them, and they basically dragon lock the game. So that way nobody gets Dragon Soul, you don't even have to worry about Elder Drake, and you're still up Drakes. And
Yeah,
not an option for the Cuddly Crustaceans right now. I would kind of say they are in control of this game, especially with how bad Spoof is right now. Opie still needs a lot of time to reach his build's maturity in comparison to Spoof, who's sitting on 5 1/4 items right now. Basically has everything he needs except for his armor shredding, and that's really not even a factor because no one on the side of the very average humans builds tank. So it's basically full build except for like 40 weapon damage at this point, which kind of irrelevant. Hook comes in and it's going to find Rafal over the wall. Swoop goes unstoppable as Rafal's obliterated. Juice Me Daddy on the flank. Going to throw out the Shark. Opie going to manage to flash away, and Maya is here going to get rooted up by that Maokai ult. And that's going to be Dragon number 3 for the side of the Cuddly Crustaceans. We now sit at 2 Clouds and a Mountain, 2 Clouds and Infernal.
yeah. And now we see the rotation for these, like for the Baron. I think that's going to be the call. It's, you still got 4 minutes left on the next objective, but they're going to look for it.
Oh, push play is here! We saw one! Juice Me Daddy gonna obliterate Lugo with the help of the rest of the team. The standard push play. Except that one was actually pretty well executed. Because if there's one thing that very average humans is going to want to do, it's contest this Baron at that point. And Violent Sociocat Maye over the wall, Spooks gets rejected by the wall with the Lantern glitch, I guess? But Blades Reach comes in on the Maya Emerald Trespass, coming out to dodge the Ace in the hole. Playful Trickster comes out. Another Blades Reach comes up. Juice Me Daddy going to get taken down by Rafal, but that's going to be the variant for the Cuddly Crustaceans. Violet Sociocat now caught on the wrong side of the wall. Grand Challenge is popped by Front Lash. Violet Sociocat going to get obliterated. Now it's back to the base to deal with some super minions.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that in that fight that was really kind of decisive, and like if we could go back and review, would be awesome. But at the same token, I think that fight was very good for the side of CC. You got the Baron that you needed, and you have it on very important players. Like you have it on your 2 potential split pushers of Necro and Legends, and they can go in lanes and they can just run it, and they'll be fine with the self-sustain and like capability of getting out because of how long they can outlast the fight. You also have it on your AD carry, and that's going to be really beneficial for doing if you want to look to do the 1-3-1 or even a 4-1. Like you have that option. So it really opens up that map for them. And all they have to do now is start to just slowly creep this pressure up. Get with the pressure they're looking for. And then like kind of slowly choke this one out if they get that last Cloud Drake. And then like from there, you can just control the map, just pressure it until Inferno comes up and then just slow chokehold from there.
Yeah, honestly, with the next Cloud Drake spawning in 2 minutes 35 seconds, that's definitely going to be the deciding break in the game. Like, whoever gets Cloud Soul, it's going to be big. You don't want it on Fizz or really anyone. Maye doing some damage to Necro Guy, trying to stop that beefy treatment script pushing, but Bramble Vest and 3 levels up, there's not much you can do to him. Maye's absolutely run down, popping the Emerald Trespass, gonna get some healing back, but it's Chaos in the base right now. Spoof is dominating, gonna take down Opie. Front Lash gonna get hooked up, the post comes out, GA comes out for Spoof. Sandy gonna save him, Front Lash is in the back line though, Spoof kiting for his life, finally gonna bring Front Lash down by the skin of his teeth. With Opie down, this is likely going to be bad news for the side of the very average humans. Juice Me Daddy onto this mid lane inhibitor. Lugo doing some damage. Caitlyn currently sitting at 10-2 and 6. Just waiting for one of these fire cannon autos to come out and change the course of this game. Oh, good. Slow crawl towards the Nexus. 1 inhibitor, now 2 inhibitors. Yeah, kind of looking like kind of looking like we're slowly getting closer to the last nail being put in the coffin for the side of the very average humans. And yeah, there's a fire cannon auto. That's gross. Ooh, Necro Guy gonna get locked up under turret. Blades Reach comes out. Up from Trespass going inside Legends. Turret gonna get dropped. Necro Guy stunning him up. Some more Blades Reaches. OP with the Killer Instinct. Spook's gonna get brought down on the front line, and that is huge. All the Cuddly Crustaceans now in full retreat. Violet Sociocat rolling in from base, and that is not what you want to see. Legends MK gonna get knocked up by the Blades Reach. Slash is coming out. He might actually win this one. Oh, nope, close. Flash coming out, gonna get himself to the safety of Violet Sociocat's Lantern.
God, I had literally everything like so unprepared. Like I was like, I'm not prepared for this. Like just how close that was for Legends to get out. But now like everyone's starting to get to their points, and it is really huge that like the Caitlyn is dead. But the minions shoving into the base kind of inhibits, this like VAH to be able from even leaving their base. Like all you can really do is send out Maye and kind of scout it out and hope for the best. But like they're not on and they're not going to do it. Like that's really all you can do.
Yeah, the average humans locked up in their base, and at this point, basically need Frontlash to be clearing these waves, and then you call for the teleport to start this fight off. Maya just poking around here to see what's what. Gonna take some aggressive fights already. They know that Spook has been out of this fight for a long time. Maya can dodge the hook there. Oh man, the engage comes out. Shark lands on Lugo, and that is big because there's Zanya's on Lugo. Lugo gonna get absolutely obliterated. Opie is gonna get hit up on the backline by Legends. Rafal is the next to fall as Maya gonna get taken down by Juice Me Daddy as well, and that's a 3-for-0 already. Teleport coming into the base. Very average humans just getting picked off once again, and that's pretty cute. I love that interaction. But yeah, this is kind of probably gonna be all she wrote. On into the base right now, and it's just OP and Frontlash being foiled. Both Nexus turrets are going to die. Just gonna focus down that Nexus. Frontlash probably gonna get brought down, but nope, it's the Nexus that's gonna go down first, and the Cuddly Crustaceans are going to take game 1 in a 42-minute and 30-second action-packed slobber knocker.
That's definitely one of the more, I don't want to say like tense moments towards the end. Like obviously the early game was very strong for CC. Like we saw a lot of like good stuff going on in the early game. Mid-game transition was in favor of VAH. It was kind of pendulum swing back and forth until it settled in the CC victory. But like that, like towards the end of that really could have gone either way. And like at that point, like it came down. I think it came down to like shot calling and individual rotations as to like who was going to be, the person to kind of carry it all. And like well played to both teams in game 1.
Yeah, and speaking of well played, I think it's gonna be time that we start talking about the MVP for game 1. So, who we got?
I'm gonna break the norm and say that ADC can win MVP. I truly think the Caitlyn performance this game was like astronomically different than what the rest of the team was doing. Like you had to rely a lot on the Caitlyn to output damage and like kind of sustain them. And we saw the one fight.
That's some fed damage, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
helps that Teamwork got the Caitlyn fed, but then she took it to the bank for sure.
Yeah, like the only other person in my mind, and it's nothing to slight any of the players. Everyone played incredibly well. I think it would either go to the Shin or to the Caitlyn. I think the Shin had some really, I guess, clutch ultimates to come through and like pull through at the very end. Not only that, but like the Caitlyn had to position herself, and then the Shin kind of was like the initiation and like alongside the Threshold or the Fizz ultimate. Like, but the Shin was just like, I'm gonna just sit here, I'll create pressure, I'm gonna just be a body if you need me. So I got my votes. So
Yeah, I think I got mine too.
is it ADC's can't win MVP?
Yeah, Spoop's currently winning with 3 votes right now.
Yikes.
And so I think with that, we will get these results out for the MVP poll in our next stream. And now we're going to cut for VOD purposes, so we will see you guys in a little bit.